If you're creating your estate plan, you need to choose someone to be the trustee of your living trust. So how do you pick that person? Well, it's important to first know what that person's responsibilities and duties are going to be. As a trustee, you are a fiduciary, and the California Probate Code sets out a list of responsibilities and duties that this trustee must carry out at anytime that trustee is administering a trust. When is the trust being administered? Well, certainly after you pass away, and potentially during any incapacity you may have in your lifetime. So some of these duties include the duty of loyalty, the duty of impartiality, the duty to act in the interest and for the benefit of that trust's beneficiaries. What does this mean in everyday terms? Well, a trustee is there to manage the trust assets, everything the trust owns, and administer it according to what that trust says. And what that trust says has a lot to do with what you decided the trust would say, including who your assets are going to. So how do you choose someone who's going to carry out these duties and responsibilities? Well, think about who you trust in your life. Yes, the trustee should be somebody that you trust because they're going to have to carry out your most important wishes for your most important loved ones. This could be a family member. This could be a close friend. This could even be one of the professional advisors in your life, such as a CPA, your financial advisor. Some attorneys even will carry on this role. If you have children and they're adults, you can name them as the trustee of your trust. If they're still minors, you're going to have to hold off for a little while. But as they age and you see which ones might be the best fit, you can update your trust to accommodate that change in trustee. And certainly, it's very important to make sure that you list more than one trustee in succession. What does that mean? That means have a backup to your first trustee. That individual may no longer want to take on the role. They may have passed away or they may have an incapacity. And you really want to have somebody already set up to take on the role in one of those situations. Some people ask if they can name more than one person to act as trustee at the same time. We call these co-trustees. There are definitely situations where co-trustees make sense. There are places where we need checks and balances. Some people have a strength in finance, and they would work well with the co-trustee as a strength in organization and administration. But I wouldn't recommend doing more than two co-trustees. It can often end in stalemates and, at the worst point, litigation. But two heads can definitely work. What if you find yourself in a situation where you don't have anyone that you would want to name as trustee, nobody close in your life, and that happens? Well, there are banks that have trust services, and you can name the bank as your trustee. There are also professional fiduciaries whose job it is to administer trusts, to act as an administrator in probate courts. So you can also find these individuals that may be able to take on that role. But at the end of the day, choosing a trustee is a big decision, and you want to pick the person or people that you feel most comfortable with. I always recommend talking to that individual before you name them so that they feel comfortable and prepared for when that day comes. Thank you for watching. If you're in Southern California and you'd like to learn more about your specific situation, please call our office for a consultation, 424-242-5021. If you liked our video and are interested in more educational content, please like and hit that subscribe button.